All right, here we go. Let's do an audio and sound check. Can you hear me okay, Coach Jay?
You sound pretty good to me, Dakota. How we doing?
Awesome. It's early tonight. I'm in a gold short. You could probably see it here. We're testing our theory out. I'm not as confident, and the reason being is we had someone from Discord. Big shout out to them. We was looking at some back testing, and it really isn't as good as I thought it was. So maybe it
Okay.
was just something that happened. We're gonna watch it. I'm short gold. This is not my live account. I'm gonna hurry and jump to it right now. As always, there's our top step risk disclosure. Welcome to Slow Markets, everybody. I'm Coach Dakota, Coach DBA. Up above me, we have Coach Jay, and we're gonna see how this gold short plays out. I'm not confident. I looked through it, and it's not as consistent as I originally thought it was. So maybe yesterday we
Okay.
just got lucky. That being said, I'm just doing this in a combine, not my live account. So what's your thoughts on this, Coach Jay? I know you have. Let's pull it over to your charts and let's maybe look at the DOM. Oh, where's
Okay.
this? Not that one. Not that one.
Fire turtle.
Yeah, yeah. I need to get rid of that one in my OBS. There we go. There's your charts. There's yours. Let's look at the DOM.
Yep.
Let's watch the 8 p.m. Central Open on your DOM.
So right now I am seeing two bigger orders. If you
I'm
look at the,
seeing 900 on your DOM. Is that the right market?
yep, yeah, this is gold traded Nope, this is platinum. Uh, Here we go. Now we'll trade over to the right market.
There we
That's
go.
gold. 23.37. There are some decent sized orders out here at 23.39. There's a 40 lot. Uh, Yeah, anything, if you're looking at my chart, anything with a red line is an order above 25 contracts. Anything with a green line is an order above 50 contracts, right? So this is the DOM on the chart here. Uh, Not a whole lot of size out there right now. A couple 40 lots, some 50 lots further away. But we were just talking about that pattern, right, Dakota? And before we got on, we talked about patterns of patterns until they break. Um,
Correct.
that might be the case here. I think there was some news about China not buying gold because it got too expensive, and then I saw a headline today that said they're going to start buying it again because the prices went down. So
So does that
call
mean we're
that
going to
what you.
be? So does that mean we're going to be going long at open then? Is that what you're saying? If China was not buying it, and then now we're opening up at 8 p.m. Central means we've been selling off, and now we flip. I don't know. We're gonna
Yeah,
watch it.
we'll
We're gonna
see.
see gold. We have 1 minute left until our official slow market starts. And as always, guys, this is kind of a special. We have Coach Jay on here with us. I shared our risk disclosure. This is not a signals class. I do this all the time when we recognize something in the markets. We want to back test it. We want to watch it live. And as a trader, this is what we want to do. We want to say, is there an opportunity here at 8 p.m. Central to sell gold? Are we going to see a pickup in volatility? We're going to watch this. This is what we do. We back test it. How are we doing it? We trade it and we talk about it. I do like this short though, to be honest. If we look at a higher time frame, and I'm going to switch it to my charts. If we look at it at a higher time frame, I am relatively liking this short gold. We had a very nice rally today and then immediately sold off. And we're kind of testing this trend line. And if we break down below this trend line, maybe look out below and we could start seeing even lower and lower on gold. So we're going to watch this. I told everybody on Power Hour to watch this. I told Andre maybe we could just take this trade in the house account, but we'll see. We're going to watch it. We're going to see if there's going to be something to it. I think the key level tonight as we're watching this gold play out is if we could break down below, 33, 30, 32. If we could break below these lows, I could see further movement down. Now the question is, and we talked about it a little bit before we came on camera, is do we have our stop loss at 42? Or do we have our stop loss at, say, like 39? Or maybe another way to get into this trade is using stop orders to enter. So, if you're not in a trade, maybe there is something to be said. We use like a buy stop. If we do break out, we get triggered into a long at 339. Or if we do sell off and we get triggered into a short at, say, 34.3, 34.5. Just kind of a bracket order to play a break in either direction. I'm not sure. There's going to be maybe a few different scenarios we could talk about for this opening trade, that if there's a lack of a better way to say it. I'm not sure. What's your thoughts on that, Coach Jay? I'm going to switch over to your charts and let's just focus on gold for right now until this plays out within 5 minutes of slow markets, and then we could jump to our regular slow markets class.
Yeah, I really do. I still like the shorts. The market likes the shorts as well. This is a 30-minute chart that we have up here.
Mm-hmm.
And if we are looking at, and I just anchored a VWAP to that first 30 minutes, I'll zoom in here. Volume likes the shorts as well, right? So far, sellers are in control. VWAP left that range to the low. Now, it's just about trade location, right? You could have the idea right and still lose on a trade. So it's where is a good place to short it? I think I love where your short is right now. And if you could afford it, risk above 23.41 is a pretty safe trade, right? You can always cut it before that if you don't like what you see, but it looks pretty good.
Okay, that makes sense. What do you see in the DOM? Because that's what I'm curious. Like, is there anything that we could like? Hey, in the DOM, we could read the tape. We could see if there's orders coming in, bid ask. I could see where we're actually starting to sell off a little bit.
We're starting to sell. Like I said, there's not much here. Everything is pretty small orders, maybe some 10 lots, some 9, 10s, some 12s. The biggest order near us right now is at 23.39. It's on the ask, and it is a 45 lot. Outside of that, I don't see much. I'm going to change this real quick to a different setting so we can see if it's actually one player there or if it's multiple. Give me 1 second.
And you said there's 45 contracts sitting at 23.39.
47.
Okay, 47. Okay.
And they're kind of moving it around. But these are all, it doesn't look like there's one bigger player, right? It looks like it's a bunch of smaller orders. 23.39. There's a 27 lot there, and outside of that, it's all smaller orders. So maybe some shorts joining that offer there.
Okay. Perfect. We're not really getting any movement, guys. Nothing's really happening. All this hype for a whole lot of nothing right now. We went up to 37, right back down to where my entry is, but I like it. If we're not going up, then I mean that's a step in the right direction. Right. But we're also not going down. And there's something to be said from a technical standpoint. Maybe we're starting to squeeze. So I'm going to go ahead and move my stop loss for this combine down a little bit, 39.3. Because, like I said, this is more. There's time. Time is also a factor right now because we're having an entry based off of time, which is the 8 p.m. And so it's fair enough that when we do see these moves, it happens like now. We either happen now, we move in one direction or not, or we just get out.
Right.
So that there's something to be said with that. So let's continue to watch this for the next few minutes, and you let me know if you see anything up there. As always with slow markets, we have a great moderating team. If you guys have questions, put them in the chat. We'll try and get to them. We have Coach Jay. There's going to be a lot of conversation back and forth and a lot less Q&A because I want to really take advantage of your time, Jay, while I do have you. It looks like we have Nick for the Tick. He's in the chat right now. He's
Nick said he's in the tattoo chair, but he is dedicated. What's going on, Nick?
Getting a tattoo is less painful than shorting this market.
Right.
You're talking about the NASDAQ. I know that for sure. I mean, Exhibit A, right?
Dakota, like you were saying, with the volume in gold, right, for this trade, it might be that they just haven't executed the trade yet, right? There's still nothing to be said that they can't come in later. I think as soon as we see that volume spike, it might give an opportunity to get in the traders if you're not already in it, and we can read it from there. But
Fair enough.
I like where your trade is. It is definitely a slow markets type of trade.
Yeah, why not? You did see a spike in volume yesterday, right? When we did short gold.
Yes. Yep.
And I was in the live account. I don't think it was.
Yes.
Was it my volume? Like I was 25 contracts short, and then 25 contracts to cover. And of course, someone had to buy them and sell them. So it was more than that, right? Okay.
Right at 9 o'clock Eastern time, right when your class starts, that 30-minute candle had 6,000 contracts traded.
Oh wow!
Right,
okay.
Right now, this 30-minute candle, and we still have 23 minutes left. There's only 638 contracts that have been traded so far. So whoever did it, and we saw the move last night, right? It happened as soon as the market opened, or as soon as the class started. That same volume hasn't started yet. We still have a ton of time in this 30-minute candle, right? There's 22 minutes left. But it's trading significantly less volume. We're starting to pick up a little bit.
Yeah, we're starting to pick up a little bit. Could there be we're already 7 minutes into class, technically from 8 p.m. 7:08 Central, and so could there be a legitimate reason, since it's been and we're starting to push low, to move the stop loss down below that pivot, say like 337.8. I like that, rather than like I'm looking at time, and if we start to sell off, we're either going to get the move or we don't.
Yep. Yeah, we're starting to see some sells come in here now. Looking at time and sales also, someone just sold a 12 lot into the bid.
Okay.
Yep, this looks good. Here they go.
If this works out, Coach Jay, I don't know what to say.
And metals kind of, I think all the metals are selling off right now. Right before I left to go to the gym, I was going to get in a platinum short, which would have worked out well. I'm seeing traders say silver selling off as well. So why not the whole sector just kind of go together?
Yeah. While we're at it, let's talk about take profits. So the first take profit I see is probably the beginning of this move. This morning at 7 a.m. Central. So I'll be okay with maybe getting some take profits down here in this area.
28 to 33.
Yeah. I'll sprinkle in some take profits right here. And then
great trade.
the one and only leave a runner on. So we'll leave a runner on, and here we go. Magic.
We just find the free money glitch. No,
this is a free money glitch.
that's just a joke. Not financial advice, but it's working, right? And this is why traders, I think it's important to sometimes just find patterns, right? Sometimes there's no right answer. Dakota wasn't looking for this trade. It kind of found him, right? He's pulling up gold charts. It's like, hey, this is a pattern that
the chat found it. The chat found it for me.
There we go. Right.
During slow markets, it seemed like every night last week, they're like, gold selling off. As soon as I click start the stream, we'll go over and I'm like, gosh, I wish I would have shorted it. And last night I shorted it and I made $6,500. Tonight, I wish I should have shorted this in my live account, but after doing some back tests, I'm like, you know what?
I wish I took it at XFA.
Yeah, this is just the combine. Unfortunately, it's still good, right? I mean, yeah, this is something else. We're watching. We're testing that 33 level. We just broke through that first pivot at 33 and 2/10, so 33.2. And are we going to head down? And if we break 32s, do I have my take profits too tight? Is the question. I'm going to stretch some of these take profits out. I'm making an executive decision on my trading account because I'm the executive trader to see, because if we break, maybe we get some, we could just tank here.
You're in 5 contracts?
I'm in 5 contracts. Yep.
Yeah, it's always interesting, right? Where do you set a take profit?
Yeah.
Because if the market just drops 20 points and you took 6, it's like,
well, what the heck? Yeah.
Was there more? But important, it's, hey, how did you analyze the market? Traders say all the time, oh man, I took 20 points out of the NASDAQ and I could have had 200. It's like, well, there was a couple of steps between that and the 200, right? Could you hold a trade for 2 hours? Could you sit through the drawdowns, right, where your trade is in profit and it swings back 30 points and then goes, back in your direction?
Yeah, the markets will always leave you unsatisfied.
Yep.
Yeah,
Always.
like you always take profit and then it rallies. Trust me, we were talking about that too when I was short NASDAQ like 30 lots and I pulled out 40,000 and like if I would have just held that for another 5 minutes, the market crashed another 30 points or 40 points or whatever. But as long as you're sticking to your plan, you can measure it, and then if you feel like the market is rallying past or going past your take profit even further, then you can make adjustments, right? Like where this is only my second trade on this particular gold short at 8 p.m. And if we do sell off, I'm like, okay, well, next time, let's leave a runner on, or we could adjust something. If we can't measure it, we can't improve on it. And we're going through this live in front of you guys, how we find maybe a trade setup and manage this trade. So we're hesitating a little bit here. Are you seeing anything on the DOM?
On the DOM right now, no. There's still some 25 lots at 23.30, but just watching the tape, selling just kind of slowed down a little bit. If you can pull up my charts, I'll show you what I'm looking at.
There we go. There, you got your charts
right,
there.
So this is a 3-minute chart now, and this is the chart that I use to read order flow. Reading delta and things like that. That's so 3 minutes ago. 3 minutes ago, we had negative 98 delta in that candle, right? What delta is the difference between buyers and sellers. So 98 more contracts were sold than bought in this candle, right? The very next one after that is negative 14 delta, right? Which is showing us that selling is starting to slow down, right? So if I'm in this short, I'm thinking about position management, but there's no reason to take this off yet.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh my gosh. Hurry. I'm going to switch to my charts.
No reason to take it off.
Look at that. There we go.
Amazing. Amazing trade.
I don't know. I don't know what to say.
So someone just stepped in on the tape. Someone just stepped in 23.30, 50 bid, sold to 50 bid. And I think there might be some continuation of this move. What an amazing trade. Wow. There was no reason to get out of that trade either, right? We didn't see buying stepping in.
No. Here's a reason. I would move my stop loss to break even now.
Yeah, or trail it as it goes. That's what I do, right? I might take 2 contracts off and then leave the other 3, but this is a great trade, right? I think we just hit your profit target, right?
Or what? No, it was so close. No, I mean, it actually went right down to where that nice rally started, which now with hindsight, it looks like the better place for a take profit. I'm going to do that let's see if we can just get out of 2 of them. Right down there at 29, because it went down. Looks like it hit like 29.6, 29.5, which that would have been the better place for my take profit with hindsight. Let's see if we can gain some momentum here. Sometimes someone's stepping in there.
121 bid at 23.31.3, and that's 121 one order.
At what price?
23.31.3. So literally 2 ticks below the market right now. Someone has a 120 lot bid sitting there. So when I see something like that, then I start thinking about position management, right? Because whoever that is may not let the market go lower.
There's a buyer right there.
Yeah, there's a buyer, 120 lots.
Okay, what's on your chart? Let's see your chart. Oh, 121. I see that at 31 and third. Just
correct.
One order.
Yep.
It's
and
man, how blatant is that? Oh my gosh.
Right. Yeah, so let's see how the market responds to this order now.
So do we smash through it? Because I do see a 20 lot right there at 30.1.
So 30.1, there we go. We just sold it.
Okay. So somebody wanted that. So for every buyer, there's a seller. Somebody took that.
And now what we need is follow through, right? So we took that
let's
out.
See if we get some follow through.
That absorbed 120 contracts, right? So we still need some initiative sellers to come in and sell through it, right? So somebody took that out. A market taker, right? That was a market maker that set the order. Market taker took the order. Now, do they continue selling from here?
Oh, it looks like it. There's 20 at the 30.1. We're at the 30.1. There's 20 there, and those just got taken. Let's see if we could get a little bit more continuation, because now I'm a little bit nervous. Let's see if we get continuation here, at least for this. I'm actually going to go ahead and get out of one, because now time is coming, and sometimes I've seen it bounce up. And remember, we're learning about this trade together. We're starting to find some buyers. Let's see this.
Seeing a little bit of buying on the tape. Not much.
Got filled one.
Nice.
Want to make sure we change our stop loss.
The original Jeff says close it. There's no reason to close it yet. The market is still selling. And all right, we have a below you at 23.4.
Got out of this.
Sorry, 29.
Got out of another one, so it just tested the bottom. And let's see if we could break. If we break, I moved my other take profit at the lows. I mean, this is kind of the low of this consolidation that we had yesterday over the night. Let me make sure I'm in short 3. I always have to be adjusting my stop loss to make sure if the market does reverse, I don't switch. Yeah, that 29.5 is a wall. If we break that wall, I could see us. We just broke it. Okay, got out of that one. So we're in 2 left. I'm just going to get out of one more, and I'm going to leave one at the bid. Go ahead, Jay.
No, I was just going to say just keep trailing it until it tells you to get out.
Yeah, I'm going to do that with this last one.
Yeah. There's really hasn't been a reason to get out of this yet. This is an amazing trade. Why didn't I take it?
Well, I tried to get everybody during Power Hour to come watch this because I was curious. And yeah.
60 bid at 29.1. 50 of that is one order filled.
Okay, we're on your charts. Let's watch it. Your charts. I have one in, and I'm going to trail this, and we'll go through this.
All right, so now we're coming down to technical level, right? Coming down to this support at 29, around 28, 23, 28. But below that, there's room in this trade still. And I'm not seeing any bigger orders. There's a 50 lot at 23.20 right now. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, not much.
Man, this is so
Dakota
fun.
Is the gold standard.
This is why I love trading. We could find a pattern, we could recognize it, and we could take advantage of it. Yeah, what else is there to say about this? Like, that is pattern recognition. We had chat bring it up every single night during slow markets. This was happening. I took it in a live account last night. I should have taken it in a live account tonight, because I would have made another. I probably would have made.
Bro.
If it was the same contract size, probably another 6K or more.
I normally trade with three contracts on my XFA. That was a $3,000 trade. So hopefully, chat, you took some of that.
Yeah. Now remember, this isn't a signals class. I posted that, but
it's not. It's not.
It's a concept, right? We're talking through a concept. We recognize the pattern. We came in and we've seen that every single night, or at least over the past little while, gold was selling off at 8 p.m. Central. And so what we decided to do is let's start the stream. Let's start the slow markets class 5 minutes before.
Dakota,
let's get into a short gold.
Don't mean to cut you off. 23.29, 150 lot just showed up there. So 160 on the bid at 23.29.3. Could be profit taking, could be, opening a long trade. But let's see. They've been getting filled so far.
150 at 29 and a third.
Yep. So the last one we saw was 120, right? This one's a little bigger. This is 160. And I'm seeing some comments, can I share my layout and things like that? I haven't found a great way to do it. I'll put a screenshot of it in the Discord chat if you guys want to use it, but I am on Quantower using level 2 data.
Okay. Yeah, I love it. Oh, look, we have another, let's see. So 150 at 29 third. Let's see if we just break through that. We're coming up to it right now.
Yeah.
We're coming down to it anyway. But anyway, yeah, like I was saying, is we noticed the pattern here in slow markets. We decided to take the trade. It worked really well. we started talking about it. I said, let's go ahead. Let's hop onto it. Let's have somebody who is amazing at reading the DOM. And you were already scheduled to be here. So it was just a great opportunity to go through this. And let's see if we could manage a trade again in front of everybody. And, maybe we could start answering questions here in a minute. I'm in one. I'm still in one. So I still have one contract on. So you can see my chart, one contract. We're going to trail this and we're just learning how to trade this type of a trade. And maybe this could be something where it's part of a game plan, right? Just like in football or basketball, if the market's doing this, call a play, right? Right before 8 p.m. Central, I get in short. If the market does this, I could do that. Maybe you don't even have to get in short. Maybe you just wait for some type of a signal and then you get triggered in, because just going through this, yes, a sell stop to get triggered into the market would have been amazing. Then you eliminate the risk that we just bounce, right? And it will increase your probabilities. If we would have had a sell stop maybe at 34, yes, we give up some profit, but we add percentage, we add probabilities that this trade would work. So there's many different ways we could talk about this trade, talk about, maybe how we could manage it, how we could get in, how we could get out. And I think this is just an amazing example and another one of those nights where I could just say, hey, Danielle, hey, Topstep team, can we clip this? Because I think this is going to be a very amazing video that traders could see us talk through a trade. We can place this trade, talk through it, and manage it. And then let's get to some of these questions that are coming in. And so let's try and keep these questions to specifically this trade and what we're talking about, because if we are going to clip this video, if the team is going to be putting this in a video, the more we can put into this content and this trade idea, the better it will be.
And we just saw that bounce, right? So with reading order flow, right? Everyone just saw it, right? That purple line that just popped up on my chart, we saw 150 contracts on the bid. Mm-hmm. When you're reading order flow, you'll see things like that, right? And we just saw the market bounce, right? Now, was that somebody trying to stop the flow of selling there, where if I put out a huge order, there might not be enough aggressive selling to sell through it? That stops the market there. And that's exactly what just happened, right? So a lot of times I think when we call out supports and resistances and things like that, when you have the additional read of the order flow, market participants can tell you whether or not it's a support or a resistance, right? Because we've all seen a support or resistance break, but when you have it paired with, hey, somebody's putting an order out there and saying the market is not going lower than that, it's just that added confirmation that you're not the only market participant looking at that level.
Yep, no, exactly. And we got some questions coming through, and I think this is a good one, is I was in 5 contracts, right? And I scaled out. Some questions is like, what would happen if we only had 2 contracts, or if we only had 1 contract, right? If we were only short 1 contract, then I think we only have 2 choices. That's trail it or just find one place to exit for take profit. That one place to exit for take profit for me would have been that first exit, which would be 23.30. And then when we talk about risk reward, if our stop was at, say we had our stop at 37, we're risking, about $2 to make, that was a $6 move. So risk 2 to make 6. That is a 3-to-1 risk reward. And we only need to be profitable, much less than 50% of the time. So that's with 1 contract. With 2 contracts, we have a lot more flexibility. If we were short 2 contract, then we could close one at this, where we closed out of our first take profit, and then we could trail it, or we could have one at 2 different locations for a take profit. What's your thoughts on that, Coach Jay?
You weren't just sharing your charts, but I agree with you, right?
Yeah.
It's position management, right? I think I've done it on TopstepTV one time where I had a 1-lot mini and I wanted to scale out of the position.
Real quick, we're breaking down. I'm going to move my stop loss. I'm moving my stop loss to 23.32. And as we break down, and the reason why I moved my stop loss is this was the pivot, and this is where we started. And oh man, here we go.
This is going to 23.20, and nothing is guaranteed, but I don't see anything to say it's going to stop. Right? We saw that 150 lot get put out there. That person pulled the order. Someone was just asking, what do you want to see when somebody throws out size like that? I either want to see the market sell through it and get some continuation, or I want to see them pull that order because they don't actually want that fill. Right? Think about why you would pull an order. You put out a
Hey.
150 lot. You're thinking, hey, man,
Uh-huh.
maybe I don't want
Uh-huh.
to buy this because the selling pressure is
They're
pretty strong.
spoofing.
It,
I'm joking.
it
No,
was
I'm
out there
joking.
for a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah,
It
no,
was
no,
out there
no.
for a while.
Yeah, I was joking. Yeah, it's because maybe they wanted to buy it and then they seen something they didn't like and they pulled it where they didn't want
Yep.
to buy. And so my second area of take profit, so if I only had two contracts, would maybe be right around this support around 23.23, 23.24. And we did just break through all of overnight's support right there. And oh my gosh, that was just, I don't think I could have scripted this any better. Where we sell off, we kind of hesitate, make a pivot, a great area to put your stop loss, and then we have a continuation.
Yeah. And now you can, I think that just gave you another pivot to kind of trail behind, right? If you're going to trail that one lot. Um, it's just really nice selling continuing to come in here, right? And let's look at again, the order flow. Let's look at the delta for these candles.
Yeah,
We had
let's
heavy
switch to your
selling.
charts. There we go.
Yep. We had heavy selling, right? We initially we saw that 3-minute candle had negative 98 delta. The one after that, negative 14, then negative 140, negative 196, negative 6, positive 13. So this is when we talk about counter trend trades. This candle right here, positive 13 delta. The candle closed higher than it opened. But what were buyers able to get in this candle, right? So this whole counter trend move was less than 3 points. Buyers are not able to get a lot here, but every time sellers come in, they push the market lower. When I read this and people have asked why I use 3-minute charts, I'm a boxing fan, and if you've watched boxing, you've seen CompuBox stats. I'm looking at
Yep.
two boxers, right, buyers and sellers, and every time the sellers throw a punch, they win the round. And that's what's happening in these delta numbers as well, right? Heavy negative delta moves the market. Sellers are happy right now.
Yeah. Man, if I would have entered in a short the same size I did last night, I would have been up 25K. But now that's that little FOMO and that little like that little devil on your shoulder in your head thinking like, oh man, you should have just went short 25 contracts like last night.
You could be me. I didn't trade it at all.
But here's the thing. Something even more important is that we're doing this in front of everybody here. We're talking through a trade, and hopefully that you guys are able to get a lot more experience learning. Let's get some more questions asked. If asked, if we do have some more questions, please feel free to put it into the chat. I'll try and get to them. Make sure let's make sure it stays related to this gold trade. Of any questions that you might have or think, I know there's a lot of different ways of how to manage this trade: all in, all out, trailing it, keeping your stop loss. There's also something to be said that I keep my stop loss to where it was or to break even, and then I just close down my charts and I go to bed, and I wake up in the morning, and on this last contract I either hit scratch or I wake up and the market's down to like 2,300. So there are times, and when I first started trading slow markets here on the slow markets class, and a lot of my trading concepts that we do talk about and that I do talk about is, when you do have a runner, I'll turn my computer off, and a lot of my trades I just let run overnight with a stop loss in and some take profits. And this could be a good example that I would turn my computer off and I'd go to bed. I'll finish up my Panda Express that DoorDash came in late, and I tried to eat a little bit while Coach Jay was joining me. And then I'll just go to sleep. And when I wake up in the morning, we'll see where gold is.
This does not feel like slow markets anymore, right? It's just fast markets at night.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and that made me feel good about this AI generated turtle, the slow markets gold. How's that? That was a good one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that was perfect, man.
Amazing. So here's what I'm looking at for this trade right now, right? We just saw the heaviest negative delta that we've seen, heaviest negative delta and price action that we've seen in that two 3-minute candles ago. There was not the follow through that we've seen in the last couple of candles. So what I'm looking at is the potential for this candle to set a range. right? And now we don't break out of this range until we see that strong initiative push, right? Either to the buy side or the sell side. But again, I don't see a reason to take that trade off. Maybe you trail down because that momentum stopped. But again, no reason to really take this off yet.
Nice. And we got a couple questions. I'm going to answer some of them. So the first one is, can you explain why we got into this trade? And yeah, this is more simple than you probably think. And if somebody's joined late, they might not know why we entered this trade. And I'm going to say, because it's 8 p.m. Central Time, I entered this trade. Actually, 5 minutes before, I said, let's short gold, because this was a pattern that we've been watching for the past week, and every single night, basically at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, gold was selling off. So what we did was, 5 minutes before 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, my slow markets, I got into 5 contracts short, and we are managing this trade. That's it. Like, that is all there was to getting into this trade. And, it's worked out really well. I was in 5 contracts. We took some profits for that. And then another question is, do you ever go in and back test it with different indicators or things to look out for if you were to scale into the trade, and at what point would you start scaling in? That's a good question. And I knew we was going to start getting questions like this, Coach Jay, of there is, I don't want to say an infinite amount of ways, but there are so many ways that we could get into a trade like this, get out of a trade like this, indicators, XYZ, reading the DOM. And it didn't start until you said like, oh, someone hit the bid at 12 contracts, and then we started selling off. So there's so many different ways that we can use to get into it. The idea is that right before 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, we've noticed a pickup in volatility and a sell-off. Whether we get in at market immediately 5 minutes before, or we used a buy stop to trigger this in, or you sit there and wait and you watch the DOM. And I'm sure if you watch the DOM, and as soon as you see a bigger order come in, you just get in short or long, depending on which way those orders are coming in on the DOM. There's so many different ways to do it. My best advice is to practice it. Find a way that you can do it consistently on an example trade like this, and then test it yourself. Do I back test it? I mean, yeah, I do like at least looking at it, some back tests in terms of like, what are we looking at? What are we thinking? And one of the amazing traders in Discord sent me some time slices for gold. And if you guys could see my charts, here's what some of the time slices. So this was yesterday. You can see right at 8 p.m. Central, we sold off. This was the day before. Right at 8 p.m. Central, we had another huge sell-off. This was the day before that, 8 p.m. Central, we sold off. The day before that, 8 p.m. Central, we had a sell-off. The day before that, 8 p.m. Central, we had a huge rally. And then the day before that, sell-off. And so you could see where it's okay to go through and backtest. These are amazing. Big shout out. I probably need permission to shout his name. But amazing trader, amazing guy in Discord who went through and did this. And this is a great example of like, hey, you know what? It's not going to work 100% of the time. Nothing works 100% of the time. But there's an opportunity here. And you can imagine if you were doing this, you could have made some really good money. But it's all about managing risk. And I think that's it. So this is I like this pivot right here. So I'm fine putting my stop loss at 23.29 because I'm seeing this as another pivot, Coach Jay. So what's your thoughts on this? And like, how would you get in? Would you back test, Coach Jay? What are all your thoughts? I'm going to switch it to your charts now. Oh, here, let me send you, you have Jack's Venmo, right? Because you're on mute.
You should be able to hear me now. But
okay.
Yeah, for my style of trading, I want to see someone else tell me that the move is happening before I enter it, right? I don't necessarily consider it breakout trading, but that 12 lot sell that we saw initially, that told me that someone else was interested in that short as well. So for me, a lot of times what happens is I'll give up trade location for confirmation, right? I'm paying in trade location for confirmation, right? So now if I see a sell like this, right, where we had that negative 98 contracts traded. To me, that's the start of the move, right? That's a trigger. We have price action and volume going short. And now I literally would have entered on that if I was actually trading this and not just focusing on doing the class. You could enter right at the low of that candle.
Yeah.
And risk the highs, right? Because at that point, you know for a fact that there are sellers.
Yeah, and there's simply, we need to know when to look and where to look, right?
Correct.
And so we kind of knew about that. We said we're going to look at gold and we're going to look at it at 8 p.m. Central. Oh man, and here we go. I'm switch my chart. Take a look at that.
So traders were just asking, if there was an opportunity to get into this trade. If you can pull up my screens real quick, Dakota, again.
Yep. Let's go your charts. There we go.
So I do this literally all the time. If you've been at the buzzer with me, we frame out these candles all the time. This is one that we could have traded. So give me 1 second.
And guess what? This is recorded, so I don't have to take notes. I can just rewatch this.
Amazing. So we see this delta flow candle right now. What this indicator is telling us is the delta in the candle and how effective they were at moving price, right? So we have this biggest delta flow candle to the negative side. We're going to frame out that candle, and we just talked about that candle potentially setting a range for the day. If you've seen me on Topstep TV before, I said I like 50% retracements for an entry. 50% of that candle right there, if you took that short, the biggest drawdown you had on a one lot is $40. If you would have risked the high of the candle, it's $230, and you had a 2-to-1 trade right there. So that's an opportunity to get in. If you think there's still room left in a trend, that's a way that you can enter the trade. Now, we don't ever put on guarantees. We put on ideas. Rips, shout out to you if you're watching for saying that. I love that quote. We never put on a guarantee. Nothing is a guarantee in the market. But if you can find repeatable patterns, you can trade them. Someone did just put out what size is that? They were at 2320.
There's rips. What was that quote again? Because I liked it. We don't put on guarantees. We put on ideas, or what?
Yeah. We put on ideas and we manage our risk, right? There's never a guarantee in the market. And I think sometimes we can, to a fault, look for guarantees. They're never going to happen. There's nothing to happen for sure. We're putting on guarantees. We aren't putting on guarantees. We're putting on risks. There you go, Rips.
There you go.
I love that quote.
Yeah, that's my trading buddy, Jay.
A really good one. Good one.
And so are you too. I mean, here we are trading together in slow markets. Like, that's what this is. I absolutely love this. I love the insights. I'm always learning. And this is just amazing. And we switch to my charts, and you can see we're just trailing this with one lot. And then we're like, is this the right way to trade? Not 100% of the time, because sometimes we could reverse and turn around. So I like that I scaled out, and now this gave us an opportunity to trail it. And going to what you said, you're giving up some trade location to have a higher probable trade because you're not getting in 5 minutes before. You're waiting for that confirmation. And what that does is if you wait for confirmation for either a breakdown or, like you said, to see orders come through, you're eliminating the risk that instead of breaking down or going down at all, instead of just blindly putting on a trade before 5 minutes, if we just bounce up, because we see on the backtesting, there's been times we rally, and if there never is that confirmation, we eliminate that. But you do give up a little bit of trade location, and so you do have to weigh, right? Is the trade location more important, or is the probabilities more important? And that's what makes a strategy, where it depends, risk reward versus probabilities, and you can give or take and find out what's right for you.
It's not one order like we've been seeing, but at 2320, there's 99 contracts sitting there. It's split up amongst a few orders, not one order like we have been seeing, but still 100 contracts sitting at 2320.
Yeah, and then the shout out for those clips, it goes to the trader, Big Sexy. That's the trader in Discord. Yeah, I just
nice. Great name.
Yeah, Big Sexy over here with the win. Great guy. Great. I love this community. It's so nice. It saved me the time to go through and do those clips.
While I'm here, Dakota, there was a question I'm trying to scroll back up and find it because it was
Yeah,
a
let's
really
get
good
to some of
question.
these questions. I got a few more feeding in, so if you see one, let me know and we can answer some questions. And let's make sure we're just talking to this, we're pertaining to this, because I love
Yep,
this. For a lack of a better word, and all pun intended, this session is gold.
it's golden.
Is golden, yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
too corny.
Yeah, this session
But
is golden, right?
if you had the question about volume profile, footprint candles, if you can post that again, I think that was a really good question. But then another question that just came up about delta. What is delta? Delta is the difference between, and this is the simplest explanation, the difference between market buys and market sells, right? And we're going to simplify this as much as possible. If I market buy one contract, that's positive one delta. If Dakota then market sells 10 contracts, 10 minus 1, his were selling. Now we have negative 9 delta. The way I'm reading that is, sure, we had negative 160 delta in this candle. What were sellers able to do with that selling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't mean, just because they sold does not mean price has to go, right? All of that selling could be absorbed by a passive buyer. Now, if sellers are not getting what they're looking for, eventually they become buyers and push the market in the opposite direction, right? So that's the way I'm
Right.
reading that.
Okay, nice. Nope, man, and if you could believe this, Coach Jay, it's almost been an hour.
It's crazy.
And this trade has almost been 1 hour since we've entered into it, and it's been straight sell off, and we're getting ready, and maybe this could be another pivot, and if we do start to sell back down, I will plan to move my stop loss to say 26 and a half, 26 and a fourth. But yeah, this is, I think, a great example of how I like to trail it. I jump down to a lower time frame. This one happens to be a 1 minute time frame. And as we start to sell in, and remember, anything can happen, right? Maybe in the next 10 minutes, we just bounce up all the way back up to, because anything could really happen. And trailing the stop, we've already took profit. And in this specific example, I'm up $2,400 locked in with unrealized about 1,000. Of course, I wish I took this in my live account, but I'm actually probably getting a lot more value out of just this class, more than what I would dare say me taking a $6,000 or $10,000. To me, this is worth more than taking that trade. I mean, well, it's now I'm thinking about it. Maybe it's not.
Here is a decent Dakota. Look
Yeah,
at a
your
3
charts.
minute chart. Look at a
Oh,
3 minute
we're on
chart,
your
or you
charts.
can. I guess you have my chart. Would
Yep.
you consider that a 3-bar reversal if this candle closes higher than this one?
On the 3-bar, yes. That's actually officially a 3-bar reversal on
So
your
this
chart.
is a great indicator, and again, these are not trade callouts or anything like that. This is a great indication of a potential reversal. Right now, what does that reversal
Yeah.
mean? Does it mean it's going to bounce all the way back up? But even with the volume read, right? This heavy candle here, 1,100 contracts were traded in that candle. Since we started this move, that's the second highest volume we've seen in the 3 minute candle, negative 83 delta.
Okay.
Sellers are starting to get a little weaker, right?
Okay,
So
fair
now,
enough, fair enough. I agree
go ahead.
with that, and I like that. And I was going to show on my charts, I have a 5-minute chart up, and for me, on the 5-minute, a 3-bar reversal would officially be once we close above this 5-minute bar, the last 5-minute bar. So
Yep.
I'm having that at 27.3. So let's just move that. I'm moving my stop loss to 27.4, locking in this profit. And I would consider that the 3-bar reversal. If we look at a 1-minute chart, then it's fair to say that this is the 3-bar reversal at 25.6. And I'm sure if you continue to zoom in, it changes and changes. So there we go. I'm stopped out. I think that's good enough. $3,300 on that trade.
Amazing trade.
If not, my stop loss would have been at 28.9, but I do like your point of view, and that makes sense. That candle had a lot of volume in it, and so that could be signaling. Now remember, we could sell off, and there's obviously, the markets always leave us unsatisfied. If I had my stop loss where it's at, and then we turn around, I guess dang it, I got stopped out too soon. I should have kept my stop loss based off this 1-minute chart. And we could always there's tons and tons of what ifs in this market. And it's just Do something consistent. Do it consistent. If you have the 3-bar reversal based off a 1 minute chart, always do it on the 1 minute chart. If you do it on the 5, do it on the 5. If you have it on 3 and what you said, whatever it is, do it consistently. And if only then you'll be able to measure your trading, measure your statistics, and what gets measured gets improved. And if you're bouncing back and forth and changing it, then you know what, sure, maybe this particular trade, a 1 minute chart would have been better and I would have had more profit on the 1 minute. Maybe on the next one, this other minute bar. And there's so many different ways to trade. Just whatever you do, be consistent. Coach Jay, you had the 3 minute bar. I looked at the 5 minute bar. If I was doing the 1 minute bar, and we could go over and over and over again. Yeah. And we could probably talk for another hour just about that.
Yeah, I can't believe we have 15 minutes left. We haven't even talked about other markets, and they're moving. But who cares? This is it. Sometimes you don't need to bounce around, right? We found one good example that gave us an opportunity. You only need one good trade a day, and this was a perfect example. Any other questions we got out there?
I don't know. What can we say after that? I mean, essentially, how do you beat that, guys? Like what? How could you have a better 1 hour session on slow markets at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night on a Wednesday night? It's hard to do that. You can't even script this as good, right? Where I was kind of advertising it during Power Hour, and I was telling traders, and we're talking about it, and then you were scheduled in well before we even started talking about this, and we had something like this type of a trade just work out. So amazing. I feel just blessed to be a part of something like this in terms of having the opportunity to do this in front of everybody, to have you, Coach Jay, we were able to talk about this, demonstrate it, have it be recorded on YouTube, and provide this type of content and it's live too. It's live. These are the live markets. And is there anywhere else that you could find online this type of content where, say, like me or you could go through and walk through a trade like this and answer questions? Because that's why I joined Topstep. That's why I'm here. This is 100% why I'm a coach. And I get more enjoyment from doing exactly this than I do any winning trade, be honest. And I was joking about like the money, right? Like I would have, of course we would have rather take this on gold, but I would honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I would give up my $22,000 winning day for a night like this, and to be able to help these traders out. Anytime. Like money gets made every day, but having something like this that we'll continue to have traders, and we could reference it, and we could have traders see this and help you guys, it is a lot more valuable than any amount of money to me. So I'm excited. I love it. I don't really have anything else to say or to top that. How about you, Coach Jay?
Oh, I mean, I think it's great. And watch this segment back. I'll probably watch this back at least 3 times. I always do. Any segment I'm on Topstep TV, or if I really like the segment, I watch them all the time because it's a ton to learn. But try to identify, what it was that we saw in this trade that made it a good trade, right? Dakota started off with, hey, and I've seen traders ask, it couldn't have been, just because it was the class was starting, so you wanted to take a short. He saw a pattern that happened, four nights in a row now. That was enough to at least look at the market and say, will this provide me an opportunity? It doesn't have to be more complicated than that, right? But then the order flow read and things like that, I think those can apply to any market that you trade. I did find that question about the different volume indicators. Can you explain the difference between volume profile, volume footprint, and a regular volume indicator? Great question.
Charts, it's on your charts, so go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to pull up a few different things. I'm going to hide this, and I'm going to pull up the volume indicator. So the volume indicator here on the bottom of the chart tells you some pretty good information, right? It tells you how much volume was traded in a 3-minute candle, right, for the time frame I have. how much volume is traded in whatever time frame you have. The one thing that the volume indicator doesn't show you is what type of volume that was, right? We know that because this candle closed lower than it opened, it's going to show as an orange or red candle on your charts. But that doesn't show you what happened in that candle. That's what a footprint chart is going to do. A footprint chart is going to show you how much of that was aggressive buying, how much was aggressive selling, right? So you can use the volume indicator, right? But in this, let's look at this blue candle here, right? This candle technically closed higher than it opened, but there was only positive 13 delta in that. So if I was only using the volume indicator, I could say, oh yeah, that was a buying candle. How effective was that buying? There was only 13 positive delta in that candle. When you watch this enough, sometimes what you'll see is a candle close higher than it opened, but it has negative delta. What does that mean? Sellers tried to sell off that candle, but they weren't able to take control of it, and they pushed the market back up. So when you're using things like a footprint chart, I don't use footprints. They get a little too noisy for me. This delta indicator shows me exactly what I need. But a footprint chart is going to give you that, level of detail that a volume candle isn't going to give you. And then volume profile is showing you volume by price, right? So volume profile is, 23.25 in gold. How many contracts traded at that price? Yep. And that's it from there. What are you laughing at over there?
Just Carl in the chat. Carl Hungus, man.
Flashing a pic of you.
He's the man. I love you guys. It's the best. Another thing. Are you trying to do that? Are you trying that Stetson contest where if you pass
the
combine
I took a loss
with lean
today.
hugs? Oh.
I took a loss today. So I was in a short actually this morning, and it worked out. I was in a 3-contract short. It worked out, but I wound up taking my dog outside while the trade was on because it's lean hog, so you don't have to watch it. And then when I came back, the trade was negative, and I'm like,
oh my gosh.
That's why I should have had a profit target on, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I want to get me one of those Stetson hats, but I haven't traded lean hogs. But those Stetson hats look freaking nice. And I heard on Topstep TV that they might just do more than one Stetson hat. So, man, that got me excited. So if you pass doing that, share the love, send me a Stetson hat because I can't pass doing lean hogs.
My chart's still up, right? We had this heavy negative delta candle before. The one that I said, gave us an opportunity for a sell at that 50% retracement. It rejected pretty much right at that 50%, minus a couple ticks, and looks like it's maybe going right back down. I don't usually like taking trades on that second test because that resistance may get weaker, but 50% retracements, they mean something. I know if you're an ICT trader, it's maybe called a consequent encroachment. It's a tough word to say. So 50% is it's easy enough for me.
Yeah. Guys, and tomorrow's Thursday, and we might be doing something fun for you guys. I kind of flashed this, so that may or may not be happening tomorrow night. So I know we had 2,800 traders here. So you guys get perks coming into slow markets. You guys seen that? And yeah, I don't know what else to say. Do you have anything else? I mean, essentially, I think we just ended at that. Last 6 minutes. We started 5 minutes early. We had an amazing trade. Absolutely loved having you with us. And I think it's only proper to end it with gold, man. Like, we love time. Gold.
Gold turtle time. This was fun, man. This was fun. Dakota, anytime I get to join, I'm always going to say yes if I'm not busy. Love you, man. This has been fun. Dakota and I were talking months ago in Topstep Discord when he became a coach, and we kind of transitioned coaching to Discord about what the coaching program could look like with all of our coaches. And it's continuing to grow, and hopefully we're providing value to traders. Hopefully, we're helping you with your journey, maybe cutting down your learning curve. But this is fun to do. I wish I made some money on that trade, but there's always another one.
Yeah. Oh man, that just throwback, right? We're having a throwback reminiscing on like, remember when we were only in Discord and all this?
Right.
Oh, it's
Yep.
crazy. And now they're doing just so much stuff on Topstep TV, and it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And like every single time I'm talking to Topstep TV, it's, you know, providing this, doing that. What can we do better for the traders? And even like between now and this upcoming Friday, they have so much planned that they haven't even told you guys yet. Like I did that
Yep.
little tease. Like that little tease about tomorrow night during slow markets, that little tease right there. And then they also have a bunch of other stuff planned between now and tomorrow that I always love watching and tuning in, and I will always recommend. Hey, Coach Dakota, how do we do this? Can I have free this? Can I have this? Just watch. Just watch Topstep TV. They're always doing stuff to help traders out and giving back to you guys. So I think we'll just leave it at that. Thanks, Coach Jay, for joining us. And I will probably see you tomorrow in the YouTube chat. As always,
Yep.
it's fun.
As always. Last thing, sorry, I know you
Yeah.
just ended it, but I see a couple people asking me for socials and things like that. I don't have any. I'm not a big social media guy. I have a personal Instagram, but no trading stuff. But if you want to talk trading, I'm in the Topstep Discord. There's a Coach J channel in there. Coach Paul and I do a market recap every day at 4 p.m. Eastern, and then I'll be on Topstep TV as well. But thank you all for tonight.
See you. Take it. I'll see you the Friday. Actually, Friday.
Fast markets. Let's make some money.
I don't know if I even trade. The past 3 Fridays, I've gave back like $9,000. We'll see how
Right.
it goes. All right. Take care. See you, everybody.